Hey there guys, this is Zane-Destiny, another review. This time in the Gutto figure collection, Motoko Kusanagi, or as we all should call her, Major Kusanagi. Personally, I never heard of Gutto until I saw this figure. I bought this figure from hoj.com, costs around about 8,300 yen, which converts roughly to about 60 quid. So a big spend on my part, but the main reason why I want to get this specific figure was, in my opinion, it's probably the only one that has her fully clothed. So yeah, I thought I'd give this a go. So on the front you see the Major in cryo with additional faces and some accessories, and looks like some effect parts as well. Looking really cool. To the side you get a nice large photo of the Major. Kind of, that face looks a bit too cutesy for the Major, but oh well. She looks kind of well proportioned so far. To the back, you get a cool splash photos of different poses you can set her in. Yeah, it does come with a few effect parts and a couple of weapons, and it shows some interesting features that you can do with the figure. Lovely. And of course, the selection of faces. You get the static faced, angry faced, sympathetic, I guess, the yelly face, and oh my god, back of her head. That's a nice feature they've added. And along with other accessories for like gun holster straps, and showing you how to change faces. To the right, same splash image, and then we go back to the front. I haven't opened this up yet. I have no idea how it's going to be, so let's get it open. So let's take a quick look at the figure. To start off with, the surface figure is rather smooth, which accentuates the fact that this is a pretty looking damsel, but the fact that of her sturdy joints and range of articulation shows that she's never going to be a damsel in distress. No, you can pose her in any way you like. In any sort of combat situation, she can put it off. Rather interesting joints as well. For instance, this thigh joint seems to be a double joint in such a way. Not many people will see between Motoko's legs, but here we go. It's kind of like it's on a hinge joint here, and also another hinge joint in this section here. And there's a double waist joint in the upper torso and in the hips. Double knee joints. This is something that the Playarts figure struggled with when they ever did double knee joints. They have a enlarged knee, but this one looks really cool. Rotatable at the boot, and of course a ball joint for the foot, which is really handy. Not quite a 180 with the elbows, but still really good. And they have a movable shoulder joint here. The head has a lot of range of movements, even the exorcist pose. But yeah, this I'm really happy with this line so far. Really done an excellent job, I must say. So just when I thought the figure couldn't impress me enough, the accessories that it comes with also, well, aim to please. As you can see the action base over here. Really nice looking, actually, very interesting. Easy to fit and has a nice range of motion. There, I can see that you can heavily use this to pull off most poses that you would like to put her in. Let's quickly move on to the hands. What she starts off with is two closed fist hands. She comes with two types of right hand trigger figure hands. I'm guessing one would be for the pistol and one for the machine gun, assault rifle, sorry. Two open splayed hands, and a left hand under cusp. It is mainly to hold the underside of a machine gun, which I'll move on to. I believe this is the MN assault rifle. Nice blue sheen to it. This is like her mainstay weapon in the standalone complex series. which I love, and if you haven't seen it, I suggest to go to watch it. Not too keen on the barrel, but what you can do, you also get a silencer, which you can just affix to the front, and that makes it much more presentable in my eyes. Speaking of the other weapon, which is affixed to a back at the moment, this is a detachable gun holster, and this is a rather Subaru pistol. Stays snugly in there. Very nice looking. Again, a nice bluish metallic sheen to it. And it just pops right in there. As you can tell, it's pretty snug. This is made of soft plastic, so you can fiddle around with it. Also, the accessories, the weapons, got interesting, well, effect parts. Now this one is mainly used for the pistol, but the only issue is that it's slightly loose coming out. That's probably because of the metal peg, if the camera will focus. You can tell it's metal. And a machine gun, assault rifle, even, comes with a larger effect part, which kind of looks over the top, but oh well. But there's one interesting thing. Without the silencer, it comes with a big flashbang. With the silencer, this effect part doesn't work at all because it's got an inside peg. But that's why you're able to put this one on. Which, I kind of like that attention to detail, because it's got a silencer now, so it shouldn't be making such a loud noise. Hence why you can't put this one on. So it's just, it probably means nothing to some people, but I think that attention to detail is kind of interesting. I enjoyed that. The assault rifle also comes with a leather strap to attach to the figure. Kind of easy to fix. You just loop this over the barrel and affix the silencer on top. So you really initially can't use this without the silencer. But oh well. And you do have to loop it around the figure's body and up and over her to make it look right, which is kind of funny to do. Anyways, next accessory we should probably move on to. She starts off with this hair. You also get a more wavy looking hair that's blown in the wind. Really, just a hair the bangs facing the opposite direction. And you can see this normal static face. Also comes with optional faces. This is like a smiling, scheming sort of face. It's a very aggressive face, and here's a yelling "where's our pizza" face. So let's attempt to change these heads around. I haven't attempted this yet, so let's see how it goes. Oh my, there's already fixated in. There we go. So it's probably best to wedge the face forward, and that makes everything come loose. In saying that, here we go. Quite a lot of pegs inside here, so that head's really fixated in. And there comes a tired face coming off. Let me see if I can show this back part. There we go. Now this is kind of interesting. It's probably a bit scary to look at right now, but with most of these interchangeable heads you just get a boring head. But what they've decided to do, which I found really interesting, they've added the details of the entry plugs for connecting to computers and such, you know, because she's a cyborg. But it also shows her cyborg brain cast. Let me make this more realistic by putting in there. Just put in a yelling face, why not? And to make it more realistic, you need to add on the front of her hair. There we go. So now bits like she's in the med bay getting the cyber brain tinkered with. So I like that. Another interesting detail. I mean, I doubt many people will be posing Motoko without her back of her head, but the option's there. I think I'm just going to go with angry face. I'm going to be displaying her with the assault rifle shooting, so she needs to look a little regressive. So I'm really liking these accessories. The interchanging of parts of the head is a little bit difficult and tedious, but oh well, at least you know it's going to be secure. I just kind of wish it was a bit more hidden. The seams are a little bit more hidden, but oh well, what can you do? Went much more pleasantly than I thought. Let's just see how easy these hands interchange. Oh, that came off very easily. Okay, no, that's pretty good. Let's see if I can figure out which of these hands are meant to go on the assault rifle. I'm guessing probably no. Be the one that's slightly more. Or maybe not. I'm going to have to pause this. Yeah, figure that out. It was rather easy to put in. The fingers are quite malleable, so that was easy enough to put on. I think what I'll also do, I'll show her to put a strap on, which I've decided to take her hand off for this because I believe it might be easier. It might be easier taking most of her hair off as well. But basically what you do, you just loop this around her head, which I suppose you would do in real life, and then just lift her arm up and just feed it through. It's getting there, it's getting there. This is quite elastically, well, it's quite stiff, but still elasticy, so you can stretch it over. And there we go. And what we'll do next is just replace our hand with the assault rifle on. Fixate this barrel loop-de-loop-de thingy. And put on the silencer. And that's pretty much going nowhere. That's really cool looking. I'm kind of glad this is what I'm really proud of. They've included accessories that you wouldn't thought you would really have wanted to tell the truth, but the fact that they've included it, you get your money's worth. I'm glad they've included this accessory. And their pistol fell off at the back. It's really cool with that. First of all, let's do a quick height comparison. From her action base upwards, Matsuko about 8.5 inches, so taller than the female members of the Normandy crew from Mass Effect. Speaking of Mass Effect, let's compare her with who's also about 8.5 inches with Commander Shepard. So yeah, she's quite sizable. And for the sake of things, let's also compare her to a 1:144 scale Gundam. Yeah, she's about double the size of one of those. All things aside, am I impressed? I'm highly impressed. I was a little dubious because I'm buying a figure from a company I never quite heard of. But with the outcome of it, with the accessories, the detail, the look of things, I'm really happy with it. There are a couple of negatives. I find that some of the hands are a little bit more loose than the others. They'll either need like a layer of glue inside the hand, not on the actual peg, because some hands work fine. But it could just be a QC issue with my figure. Also, I find that her, trust me to notice this, but her cleavage, just under there, you can see a little bit too much of the joint. I think what would have been nicer if they cut this jacket bit together around about here just to cover that up. But I suppose if they did do that, it may have inhibited some articulation. But that's my only gripe. Yeah, those are the only gripes really. I mean, the rest of the figure, the feel of the figure, the articulation of it, the way they hit the joints, I really enjoyed this figure every step of the way. And the fact that they've given you extra accessories, like for instance a leather strap and the I still can't get over like the ingenuity of the fact that if you put the silencer on, you can only use a smaller flashbang. Just little things like that I think they really put some effort into this figure. The action base works really great as well. I can see that lasting a very long time, and it keeps her upright, which she needs to be able to do. So it may seem like a lot of money, roughly about 60 quid, but I think it's money that's really well worth spent. If you don't get any other figure or hardly buy figures, you should definitely add this to your collection. Good size, great detail, great affordable price, and who wouldn't want a Major Kusanagi? I know there's plenty of other figures out there, but all the other ones I've seen of her in a skimpy half dress clad, whereas this is a form-fitted suit, combat suit, which she's a pretty lady, but I like my figures to be decent to be seen in front of a younger audience. So I hope you enjoyed this review. I certainly have. This is probably my favourite figure up to date so far. I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy the photos that will be coming after. Take care. Bye.